Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, disguised as charm, wit, or even acts of kindness. It's not always obvious, and that's what makes it dangerous. So how can you tell? Today we're diving into 5 chilling signs that someone might not have your best interests at heart. But that's not all. Stick around for the bonus insight at the end. This one's a game changer. It's a subtle sign that many people overlook, yet it reveals more about a person's true nature than anything else. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to Stoic Trench and hit the notification bell so you never miss thought-provoking content like this. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. Enjoying your pain. Have you ever met someone who seems to enjoy seeing others struggle? Maybe they laugh when something bad happens to you, or they can't resist pointing out your mistakes. At first, you might brush it off as a bad sense of humor, but when it happens again and again, it becomes clear this isn't just a joke. This kind of behavior reveals something much deeper, a complete lack of empathy. Empathy is what allows us to connect as humans. It's the ability to imagine how someone else feels, to care about their pain, and to offer kindness when they're struggling. But for people who lack empathy, none of that matters. Instead, they might even go out of their way to make things worse. They'll criticize you when you're already feeling low. They'll betray your trust by spilling your secrets. Or worse, they'll use your vulnerabilities against you, turning your pain into a weapon for their own gain. Why would someone do this? Sometimes it's a sign of deeper issues, like psychopathy, a personality disorder where empathy is practically non-existent. Now, not everyone with psychopathic tendencies is dangerous, but when someone enjoys watching others suffer, it crosses a line. Here's the thing, someone who thrives on your pain isn't just toxic, they can be genuinely harmful. You might find yourself doubting your worth, questioning your decisions, or feeling isolated because of their actions. That's why it's so important to recognize this behavior and protect yourself. If you notice someone like this in your life, take a step back. You deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not tear you down. Remember, someone who finds joy in your pain isn't just being mean, it's a sign of something far more troubling. Sign number 2. Avoiding all responsibility. Have you ever met someone who just can't admit when they're wrong? No matter the situation, they always have an excuse, a scapegoat, or someone else to blame. It doesn't matter if the evidence points directly at them in their mind, they're never at fault. Here's the thing, good people make mistakes. It's human. But what separates good people from toxic ones is how they handle those mistakes. Good people apologize. They reflect on what they did wrong, take responsibility, and make an effort to do better. That's how trust is built and relationships grow. But for some, accountability is like kryptonite. They'll go to great lengths to avoid it. They'll twist the truth, shift the blame, and act like the victim, all to dodge responsibility. And if you're close to them, you might end up feeling guilty or confused, even when it's not your fault. This pattern of behavior isn't just frustrating, it's toxic. When someone refuses to take responsibility, it forces others to pick up the slack or suffer the consequences of their actions. Over time, this can drain you emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Why does this happen? Sometimes it's because these individuals see themselves as untouchable. They believe they can do no wrong and that others exist to clean up their messes. In some cases, this behavior is tied to deeper issues like narcissism or manipulative tendencies. If someone in your life consistently avoids responsibility, it's a red flag. Their actions or lack of them can hurt you in ways you don't immediately notice. It's okay to demand accountability, and it's even more okay to step away if they refuse to give it. After all, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and trust, not finger-pointing and blame-shifting. Sign number 3. Cruelty to animals. You can tell a lot about a person by how they treat animals. Think about it, animals are pure. They don't judge, hold grudges, or demand anything from us other than kindness and care. Yet, some people go out of their way to mistreat them. Why? Imagine this: you're walking in a park and see someone shooing away a friendly dog, not just brushing it off, but aggressively yelling or even threatening it. That moment says so much about their character. Animals can't defend themselves the way humans can. When someone mistreats them, it often reflects a lack of empathy, a coldness toward life itself. Kindness to animals isn't just about liking pets, it's about recognizing the value of all living beings. When someone shows unnecessary cruelty, whether by neglecting their own pets, harming strays, or even joking about hurting animals, it's a massive red flag. It's not just heartless, it's dangerous. Here's why this matters. Studies have consistently linked cruelty to animals with a predisposition for violence toward humans. People who hurt animals often see life as disposable, and that mindset doesn't stop at animals. It's a slippery slope that can lead to even darker behaviors. Contrast that with someone who cherishes animals. That bond, whether it's cuddling a cat or throwing a ball for a dog, shows emotional depth and the capacity for connection. On the flip side, when someone shows no compassion toward animals, it's worth questioning what else they might be capable of. If you notice this behavior, don't ignore it. It's more than just a preference or quirk, it's a glaring insight into their character. Be cautious, and if possible, keep your distance. Sign number 4. Profitable deception. We all tell little white lies, sometimes maybe to spare someone's feelings or avoid an awkward situation. But for some people, lying isn't occasional or harmless. It's a way of life. Their lies aren't about protecting others, they're about manipulating, controlling, and profiting. Imagine this: a friend tells you a story that doesn't quite add up. You catch them in a lie, but instead of owning up, they double down, spinning an even more elaborate tale. They might smile, charm, or deflect blame, but underneath it all, they're only looking out for themselves. This isn't just dishonesty, it's calculated deception. And it's often tied to the dark triad of personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These traits fuel a dangerous mindset. A narcissist believes they're entitled to lie because they see themselves as superior. A Machiavellian sees lies as tools to manipulate others and gain power. And a psychopath, they just don't care how their deception impacts others. What's most alarming is how skilled these people can be at hiding their deceit. They charm, they flatter, and they pretend to be your ally. But behind the mask, their only focus is their personal gain, no matter who gets hurt in the process. If you notice someone consistently lying, not out of necessity or care, but as a way to take advantage, it's time to reevaluate your trust in them. Deception like this isn't harmless. It's a sign of something deeper and much darker. Sign number 5. Malicious criticism. Constructive feedback is like a guide. It helps us see where we can improve and encourages us to do better. But not all criticism comes from a good place. Some people criticize not to help, but to hurt. Think about it: if someone's words leave you feeling small, unworthy, or drained, it's worth pausing and asking yourself, what's their intention? Are they genuinely trying to help you, or are they trying to bring you down? Malicious criticism often comes from a place of insecurity. It's like they're carrying their own doubts and struggles and trying to unload them onto you. They tear others down because it makes them feel bigger or more in control. They use words not as tools for growth, but as weapons to wound. Here's the thing: their criticism isn't about you, it's about them. It's their insecurities, their fears, and their struggles showing up in disguise. Recognizing this can make a huge difference. Instead of letting their words sink in and hurt you, remind yourself that their negativity doesn't define your worth. If you feel small or powerless after an interaction, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this person helping me, or are they trying to control me? When you see it for what it is, you take back your power. You stop letting their words shape how you see yourself and start focusing on your own growth. And here's a bonus and crucial piece of the puzzle. To some people, the world revolves around one thing: themselves. Their happiness, success and comfort are their top priorities no matter who they have to step on to get there. You've probably seen it before. Maybe it's someone who cuts in line without a second thought, or someone who never lifts a finger to help, even when it's obvious you're struggling. Or perhaps it's someone at work who always finds a way to claim credit for something they didn't do. This kind of self-centeredness isn't just inconsiderate, it's a major red flag. When someone is so focused on their own needs, they become blind to the people around them. They don't stop to consider how their actions affect others, and they'll often manipulate, betray, or even destroy relationships just to get what they want. But here's the thing: this behavior isn't going to change. People like this don't suddenly wake up one day and decide to prioritize others. If you notice someone consistently putting themselves first, no matter the cost, don't waste your energy hoping for a change. Instead, focus on protecting yourself, your time, your emotions, your boundaries. Now, remember that bonus insight I mentioned earlier? Here it is, and it's a real game changer. Watch how they react when you put yourself first for a change. It's subtle, but it reveals everything. Do they support you? Or do they lash out, guilt-trip you, or try to make you feel bad for prioritizing your own needs? This reaction is like a spotlight on their true nature. Self-centered people can't handle not being the center of attention or control. When you take even a little of that power back, their mask often slips and you see their real face. So the next time you sense someone's unrelenting selfishness, trust what you see. Protect your well-being, and don't let their behavior shape your choices. Because at the end of the day, you deserve relationships built on mutual respect, not one-sided demands. As we wrap up, remember this: spotting these signs isn't just about avoiding harm, it's about reclaiming your power. When you start recognizing the patterns of toxic behavior, you're taking a big step toward protecting your peace and building a life filled with people who truly uplift and inspire you. Life is too short to spend it weighed down by negativity or manipulation. Choose relationships that add value to your life, not ones that drain it. Remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. If this video helped you see things more clearly or gave you something to think about, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you want more insights into human behavior, relationships, and life's tougher lessons, subscribe to Stoic Trench. We're just getting started on this journey, and I promise there's so much more to explore together.